Well, I'll say that, as I stated previously, I'm a Rolly fan, so I'm not too surprised. I'm probably less surprised than a lot of people. Did I seen out there that Tank predicted Rolly? Y'all see that?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
I didn't see that.
I guess they're saying that Tank predicted Rolly, and that they were saying that Rolly hit harder than Ryan.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, just based off of the Tank fight, I knew that he would be able to apply some pressure to Ryan. We think that Tank is one of the hardest hitters in the sport, and so I said if he could put that type of pressure on Tank, then I was certain he could put that type of pressure on Ryan. I just thought that if it came down to a decision, I didn't think he'd get the nod. But well, it helps when you get a second round knockdown. So
Right, right. And he basically rode that knockdown to a pretty easy win. All things considered, very. It was just an overall a weird night. Sticking to this fight, Ryan Garcia was not able to throw that lead hook that he likes to throw, and really did not try or attempt any straight right hands or any variety to his offense, which was um that was very puzzling to see the, the activity and the inability to kind of that puzzle of, hey, this has the right hand up pretty tight. Let's try something else. Let's not jab. Let's try 1-2. You didn't see any of that. So Rolly, he did his thing, got the second round knockdown.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Cam.
we in and out. I don't know if it's
In and
raining
out.
up there. It's
Yeah. But
raining
yeah,
down here. I know that for certain.
but yeah, definitely. This was an upset. But like LT said, people that follow Rolly know you already knew that the power is there, that athletic, wiry nature is there, and he's a guy who takes risks. But Ryan Garcia, to be honest, internet sensation, but I've not seen too many of his fights. I've seen like 4 or 5, maybe even less than that. And there's a common theme whenever he's fighting. He gets knocked down quite a bit in the second round. If we go back to Campbell, we go back to Tank, and now Rolly. And people are credit that to how he strikes and defends, right? So when he's going for it, he's very susceptible for a counter hit, and it was just weird. He got check hooked twice. He was down by Rolly. Remind me, is Rolly a lefty? I think he's orthodox. So it was a check hook. I believe it was a check hook. It was not just a hook. I think it was a check hook. But anyways, Rolly hit him with a double check and dropped him down. And that's kind of like a no-no. If you've been checked, like quick, I know you're on the attack, but quick cover up, attack, but cover up. And that goes back to Floyd Mayweather, to be a great counter puncher is also to anticipate to be hit. So like getting hit is part of the game to be a all-round fighter. And Ryan Garcia has shown so many times that he's very susceptible to getting hurt while he's on the press. And then after what preceded that, Ryan Garcia didn't look like Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia is very reactionary. When he gets knocked down, he came back he cleaned up, adjusted with Campbell, and knocked him out. With even Tank, he got some good moments after he got knocked down, where him and Tank were going at it body for body until he could not handle Tank's body punches, right? That led to him, conceding that loss to Tank with a TKO. But this was weird. He started to box Rolly or go into defense mode where he's distancing himself. He's not trying to risk. And maybe that's a testament to Rolly's power, where he felt it and he was like, I can't do nothing with this awkward style. He was just not. And Rolly is gettable. We've seen what Cruz did to Rolly, because Rolly's crazy. He just goes in. Like Rolly, you could knock out Rolly, especially with Ryan's body to head combination. He's very good at that. So I was surprised that he didn't do that. He didn't go for Rolly's body. He didn't go for the textbook setup, follow my trap, body to head, get Rolly out of there, because Rolly has been knocked down or knocked out or TKO just because he's wild. He goes in. So that
I
was
mean, that could be another thing too. He is an orthodox stance, but he can be quite unorthodox as an opponent. Um, yeah, that, and then a combination with maybe possibly the ring rust factor too.
yep, yep. So and then other people were like crediting that he had dried out from the ostering and he's off the cycle. So that's a residual of not being, with your additional, superpower, which is enhanced. Uh, I don't know about that, but I did see his body didn't look as toned as he's never been like a super toned guy, but he looked like he had like ring rust, even physically. He looked like he's not the Ryan Garcia. Because if we talk about Ryan Garcia, we're talking about quick hands. We're talking about very reactionary, very, he's never gloves up. He's more like head moving. He was not looking fast. He just looked like Rolly looked like the athletic person there. And Ryan is athletic. And he's always been athletic, even in the amateurs. So I don't know how that he just didn't look like Ryan Garcia to me.
Yeah, he mentioned the environment played a part into that, with the crowd or lack thereof, a big crowd. I think as a professional fighter, you gotta be ready regardless. But we can't act like these athletes don't feed off of that energy in the crowd. One takeaway from the event, I really feel like the pedestrians should have a line of sight on one side. You saw the street was blocked, which makes sense. You want to keep the day-to-day safe, but that sidewalk that was bordering the event, I feel like that could have been like a plexiglass type of situation, gives it like a video game type of feel, and do get a little bit of interaction there. I mean, being in New York City, it looks like they had it blocked off pretty good, but I think there's got to be a way to bring the city, the energy of the city, a little closer to that event, so you can get that environment. It did, watching on TV, these I noticed it after Tails win. It was just very like there was this a lull in the crowd. It wasn't not a lot of excitement. You could only imagine people that were in attendance were high rollers and family. So but yeah, that's one thing he did mention. But he just looks uninspired, not ready. Austrian or not, I mean, I guess we'll see. We got to keep in mind Ryan Garcia has never contended for a title or held a title. So this just may be what he is. One of those guys just gets to that point. He's a name, and as you know, in boxing, that can run out really fast. So you're as good as your last performance, and nobody was feeling this performance.
Yeah. Well, I agree, and salute to the victor, Rolly. He did. He pulled an upset. I think Rolly went up to fight, right? He was not his normal weight division, right? He went up to fight. He looked comfortable. So hope to see what that does, and whoever was on this fight card, there are people that are going to be victors. Like I'll use Teofimo. We'll talk about him later. People that actually showed up and showed out, and I think Turkey may have something special lined up for the people that showed out on this card right here. So Rolly,
Hold on a second though.
Something big there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. So basically, Cam said that Ryan Garcia is Jake Paul with an amateur career. Right?
I mean, name that will bring eyeballs and attention, and all the sound clips and all that. Yeah, I mean, at this point in his career, that is really all he's shown us.
Now, the last thing that Strap said, because if we talk about Ryan Garcia being ordered to face Boots, hey, let's Rolly. Is this redemption story for Rolly?
I mean, he got the dub. There's got to be some type of bigger fight that is out there to be made for Rolly Romero. I mean, that's just the natural occurrence. he's providing that character element into the build up for these fights. So I would expect to see him on some type of big card coming up later this year.
And that's why I always say there's a place in boxing for people like Rolando Romero.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely,
Rolly,
absolutely.
my description of Rolly, he's a suicide bomber. That's what he is. He's deadly to himself and others around him. So that's how I describe Rolando.
He hasn't really done anything detrimental to himself. He stayed out of trouble. He stayed clean. He's been game for fights. I mean, unless I'm missing something.
I'm saying boxing wise, his style, like, yes, he's gonna get to. I worry for him. I mean, but again, like LT said, his weird style is getting him. He's a fan, and there's a reason why people just have a liking to Rolly. When he's not a typical textbook guy, and they say he's been fighting since he just started fighting at 16. He's not that very old. So I don't know. He's on he's on a mission that I just don't understand some of the things he does in the ring, and I'm like, why are you punching and both your feet are up in the air? Like there's some things he does. I'm like, I've never seen that, but
the facts are his losses on his record are to a Gervonta Tank Davis and a Isak Pitbull Cruz. Yeah. So when you go down and look at the production as far as the record, I mean, you got to give him credit. He's the losses he has are to great fighters. There's no shame in that, and he comes back and he made weight. He showed up to do work.
Yeah. Well, salute to Rolando Romero, and can't wait to see you on another marquee production where you're headlining, and hopefully you do what it has to be done to win. So salute to Rolly Romero.